Morning, darling. Have your eggs ready in a minute.
Oh, never mind. I haven't time.
7:40 still doesn't leave until 7:40, Byron.
The rat race starts early today. Sherwin's in them.
Sherwin? Who's Sherwin?
Sherwin Shoes. The account we've been angling to land for over a year.
Oh. Will he be coming for cocktails, too?
Cocktail?
Well, naturally, when Mr. Warren invited us to the Oakmont Country Club for dinner, I naturally suggested we meet here for cocktails first.
Oh, Jess. Have you ever presided over a wake?
My first tea for the faculty wasn't such a smashing success. Did I do something wrong?
I don't know, Jess. I don't know. Tom Shaw and I have been running neck and neck for months now. It'll be decided this afternoon. If I don't land a Sherwin account, we won't be joining the Oakmont Country Club. Jeannie won't be going to Sarah Lawrence.
Why must you always make it sound like we're pushing you, By? It was William Warren who dangled a $40,000 a year job in front of a poorly paid professor, and you snapped at it like a hungry trout.
So I snapped at it. I didn't hear you argue about switching from the campus to the country club. You've loved every minute of it, and now you're ready for the next rung on the ladder.
Oh, come off it, By. You want that promotion just as much as we do.
It's mandatory in advertising. There's only one way to go, and that's up. Once you're passed over, you start treading water. After that, you sink.
Oh, don't be silly, darling. Mr. Warren doesn't have enough PhDs in literature to throw them away.
He can afford to buy doctorates for window dressing. That's why he bought me.
What a terrible thing to say.
Look, I had a rough night. Come up with the right gimmick.
But you will. You always have. There isn't anybody on Madison Avenue any better with words than Byron Stone, and you know it.
So they say. Every time you come up with something that clicks, they want more of the same. Till you feel like one of their empty toothpaste tubes.
Darling, you haven't had any sleep and you're frazzled. Why don't I do something marvelous with the eggs? Well, you tell me all about Sherwin Shoes.
Oh, we could talk about it all day and get nowhere. What can you say to make men's shoes glamorous? Goodbye, darling.
Goodbye.
Insight. Stories of spiritual conflict in the 20th century. Insight.
Good morning, Dr. Stone.
It remains to be seen, Susan.
Oh, the Sherwin meeting is set for 3, and Mr. Warren wants to break down your presentation as soon as possible.
Cancel everything else and hold all calls.
Any special message for Mr. Cameron?
Cameron?
Well, I've heard of absent-minded professors. Jim Cameron, a former student of yours.
Oh, yes. Tell him I'll be working through lunch, and maybe we can make it next week.
Yes, sir.
So top secret, Professor. Susie out there acts like she's guarding next year's Nielsen ratings. Oh, you're on the stuff, are you? What are you trying to get out of these? Energy or tranquility?
Just a little peace and quiet. That's why I left orders not to be disturbed.
Mm-hmm. You all dried up, huh?
No, just a bad night, that's all.
Come on, you can talk to me. I'm the happy huckster, remember? I've been there once or twice myself. I know what it's like. That empty feeling in the gut when you're up against a deadline and you just don't have it.
You hope.
Yes, I do, as a matter of fact. Sort of a moment of truth, Malor. I've been sweating you out for 3 years.
Oh, only 3?
Yeah, I didn't figure you'd make it those first 6 months.
Why not?
Well, let's face it. I mean, you almost did fall flat on your college degrees. Those first little literary gems of yours, brother, they were else. But you learned you learned fast.
Excuse me, Dr. Stone. Mr. Warren's secretary called. He has time to look at your presentation now.
Send this in, Susan. Say there'll be more coming.
Yes, sir.
You trying to stall the old man, by?
You trying to stall me, Happy Huckster?
Look, I've got an idea, by. They say that two minds...
Tom, knock it off, will you? I just need a little time to polish this up.
I wish the old man would make up his mind about who was going to be the new vice president around here. It's hell to work under this pressure. No, I don't need these, By. And you know something? I think that that's the big difference between the two of us. Me, I belong here. This is what I like. I dig this kind of a business. But you, well, it's...
Yes, Susan.
To hold all calls, but your wife is on one.
Oh, tell Mrs. Stone to hold a minute, will you? See you later, Tom.
Oh, okay. For cocktails. Tell Jessica that I congratulate her. It was nice timing. I wish Serena had thought of that.
Yes, Jess.
I hope I'm not interrupting.
That's all right.
I just wanted to apologize about this morning.
Takes two. Thanks for calling, Jess.
Can you spare another minute?
No, but go ahead.
I just had a call from Jeannie.
Out of allowance so soon? This sets a new record.
She's not only solvent, she just won the regional speech contest. The finals are at state tonight. She thought maybe we could drive up, like old home week, seeing all our old campus companions.
We're giving a party tonight, remember?
Yes, of course, I told her. You might send flowers or a telegram. You always know the right thing to say.
Damn it, Jess, I can't drop everything just to compose a witty wire. Time's running out of this Sherwin thing.
I'm sorry I interrupted. I thought you'd be pleased.
I am, but I just can't think of it now.
This is your daughter, Bri. It's very important to her.
So is the vice presidency.
I'll take care of the telegram.
Lunch break, By.
I'm afraid I'll have to take a rain check.
I read your presentation on the Sherwin shoe account. I showed it to Tom, and he feels we all ought to put our heads together over lunch and...
And what, Tom?
Kick around a few ideas, that's all.
There are 3 agencies pushing for the Sherwin account. Now, I can't show him what you sent me this morning. Facts, figures, consumer availability. I hire office clerks to prepare those charts, By. Where's the gimmick? The fresh angle, the hook?
Right here.
Well, why wasn't I briefed on it?
Because the account's there. Ideas taste fresher when they haven't been chewed up by too many people beforehand.
All right. See you at 3.
Good luck, Professor. You come up with egg on your face, and it's going to be the world's most expensive omelet. If my secretary calls, will you tell her I'll be at lunch, please?
Yes, Mr. Shaw.
Excuse me.
Yes?
I'm Jim Cameron. I have a lunch date with Dr. Stone.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Mr. Cameron. I wasn't able to reach you by phone. I'm afraid he's tied up for the rest of the day.
Oh,
Well, he was very disappointed, but he's wrapping up a big account.
that's all right. I understand. Would you see that he gets this, please? Thank you.
You wrote this. How wonderful. He'll be so pleased.
Well, I hope so. He almost flunked me once.
Tough teacher?
On those of us who goofed off. I expect he'll be sending it back with the margin full of those classic comments of his. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I hate to disturb you, sir, but if you want anything typed up for the meeting, I'll have lunch sent in.
No, you go ahead, Susan.
Anything I can bring you? A sandwich, coffee?
A few fresh ideas.
Well, you may find a few in here. Your friend Jim Cameron left it for you.
Huh?
He wrote it.
So she said, well, why not? It's your brother.
Gentlemen, it's 7 minutes past 3.
Oh, yes. Well, while we're waiting, you'll find a detailed market analysis in your folder there, Mr. Sherwin, and if you'll turn to page 10, you'll find the base coverage.
Bill, I doubt if it's any different than the others I've seen, and if that's all you have to
If
offer...
that were all, Mr. Sherwin, we wouldn't be wasting your time.
Well, then let's get on with it, shall we?
Tom, would you see if Dr. Stone...
My tardiness, gentlemen. Mr. Sherwin, I see no point in belaboring you with dry data. Our job is to show you how to increase sales with proper coverage and campaign. On page 1, you'll find the theme of the entire campaign. Put a stranger in your shoes. With Sherwin shoes, you'll step brighter, stride lighter. Now, while we have the accompanying advantages of implied youth and certainly of comfort, the freedom of this theme gives us range, running the gamut from work to play, from brogan to boudoir. A pair of slippers by a bed with the caption, Sherwin shoes leave him so fresh at the end of the day that you'll swear there's a stranger in his shoes.
Bill, I think you were right about your professor. No highfalutin double talk. It's refreshing to meet an educated man who makes sense.
Yes, sir?
Susan, see if you can reach Jim Cameron, will you? And, call Mrs. Stone and tell her that Mr. Sherwin will be joining us for cocktails.
Yes, sir.
To Professor Byron Stone, whose words I borrowed from my title. Because of him, I became a stranger in my shoes.
It's good, Jim. Really good.
Thanks.
Oh, one thing I don't understand.
Only one?
Well, the dedication. You said you borrowed the title for me.
Yes, it was something you said to a bunch of us once at one of those ball sessions we used to have at your house. You took off on the obstacles confronting the serious student, and we did the listening for a change.
I don't remember an occasion like that.
Well, I do. I remember it word for word. If at every moment you're true to yourself and give yourself fully to your own life's work, then one day you'll wake up and find yourself a stranger in your shoes. The whole man. Remember?
What was I teaching? Literature or philosophy?
Bye, that with you.
Come and see.
Jim. Jim Cameron.
Wow. Are you the same lady who used to cook Sunday night suppers for starving students?
The faculty front has been redecorated by Elizabeth Ard.
It's wonderful. That dress is terrific.
Thank you.
With those prices, it should be. We may have to take out a second mortgage on the house. Look what the prize student has done.
Why, Jim, that's wonderful. I'm so proud of you. Oh, bye. It's almost 7, darling. You better get dressed.
Oh,
And I'll fix our young Hemingway another beer.
Oh, no, I've got to catch a plane for California. I didn't know it was that late. Well, here's to old times.
Good times.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. I'm going to read this.
Do.
And Jim, thanks for reminding me about the stranger in my shoes.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that profile in Time didn't do you justice.
Oh, come now, Mrs. Stone. I have a hunch this husband of yours is going to do a great job for you.
I'm sure he will.
Put a stranger in your shoes. How's that for a slogan, huh?
Yeah. Don't ask her. She's prejudiced.
All wives are prejudiced. Favor of their husbands.
Bill, we may very well have chosen the wrong member of the family.
Well, she is the most decorative.
Seems to me that Sherwin is sold on buying.
Don't they?
Game isn't over till the last whistle blows.
Yeah, but can we warm the bench for another season?
I'll warm a bench with you anytime.
Thank you, lady. I dig you. Oh, hi, Barney. Just in time. Say, congratulations. You've got Sherwin eating out of your hand.
Oh, I'm glad he isn't you, Tom. I fear for my fingers.
Why?
Just a joke, Serena. We're friendly rivals in the office. It's just on the golf course that he gets deadly.
Honey, excuse me a minute, please.
Sure.
Bye. Bye, I don't like to see you get in any trouble. Well, there's still time to change the whole approach on this Sherwin thing before there are any repercussions.
About what?
Don't act innocent with me, Bye. I'm trying to help you. I know you were in a bind.
What the devil are you talking about?
I am talking about the book on the counter over there. That author could give us a lot of trouble.
I don't think so. He's a former student of mine.
Bye, if you lifted the title, we are liable.
Read the dedication. Read it.
Well, I'm going to come back. Very kind.
Real squeezer, wasn't it?
Well, we was before.
I sure had my doubts about this one.
You mean about me?
Byron, I hired you because I wanted the best for my clients. They deserve that. But we also do a service for the public. Sometimes I've wondered if you believe that. When a man works against the grain, he can dry up quick. I was afraid that happened to you today.
Mr. Warren?
Oh, fine. By's probably tired of bartending anyway. I'll buy you one at the club.
Oh, I'm afraid Jess and I won't be joining you for dinner. We're driving up to the university tonight. Our daughter's in the finals of a speech contest. We only heard about it this morning.
Well, looks like the whole family has a gift of gab, huh? I want to see that artwork, Stone. Bye-bye.
Oh, good night. Thanks so much for coming, dear. Good night. Bye now. Good night.
Bye. I guess I went off half-cocked, and I'm sorry.
Forget it, Tom.
Good night.
Good night, dear.
Thank you.
Give my best to Jeannie. Tell her I hope she's a winner, too. No reason to keep you on the hook over the weekend. You're the new VP. Good night.
Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, well, I think this calls for a small celebration before we leave. We'll really have exciting news for Jeannie and our faculty friends.
It'll be good to go home again.
Is that a Freudian slip or just nostalgia for campus quiet after a hectic day on the avenue?
Neither. Now, seeing Jim today, having him here, made me realize how much I love working with young people and how different a house is without them.
My memories are mostly of the shambles they left behind.
Oh, they were marvelous moments. The excitement of seeing an idea born, ambition sparked. Those were happy times. I was good at teaching.
You're good at advertising, too. That's why you've been so successful at it.
Well, Jess, there's a difference between success and fulfillment. It's a difference between a job and a vocation.
My boy, that sounds just a little like intellectual snobbery.
Don't say that advertising can't be a vocation. For Warren and Tom, it's just that. They enjoy it. They give the best of themselves. I can't. The only thing I enjoy about advertising is fruits of advertising.
Well, darling, you must admit they're very lovely fruits.
It isn't worth it, Jess. I took a long look at myself today. I didn't like what I saw.
You've been under a great deal of tension, Bard. Once you unwind, you feel differently.
Jess, I used to use words to nourish young minds, elevate them, stimulate curiosity. Now I use words to stimulate desire. I sold out for those lovely fruits, Jess. Today I even found out I could steal for them.
What on earth are you talking about?
I stole a campaign slogan from the title of Jim's book.
But Jim got the title from you. You can't steal from yourself.
I didn't know it was myself at the time.
But you're exhausted and you're wearing sackcloth and ashes for one thing done under enormous pressure.
The pressure will get worse, Jess.
There's just as much pressure and competition at the university.
Sure there is. But it's my kind of pressure. I thrive on it. And look what I got in return. Real conversation, intellectual nourishment, free commerce with young minds that I love. Instead of a mass of slogans and gimmicks.
Look, I'm not going to let you throw away 3 years of hard work and a chance at a partnership just because you're tired and tense. I just look back and ask yourself why you left the ivy-covered halls of learning in the first place.
You said it this morning. Money. To buy the things we couldn't afford on a teacher's salary. But it's not what I've bought that matters, Jess. It's what I am, and that's empty. I used to be full.
But,
Jess, it's true. What this job has given us in luxuries, it's taken away in happiness. I don't even have time for my own daughter anymore.
So you want to go back to teaching? Your friends here will say it's a cop-out, Vi. And your friends at the university will say that you're out of your mind to turn down a chance like this.
I won't be created by public opinion, Jess. I took a detour. And now I want to get back on the main road. I know what I'm asking you to give up. I'll understand if you say no.
And will you understand if I say yes? Oh, yes, darling, yes. Hey, what about Jim Cameron and his book, The Stranger in My Shoe?
I forgot. I've got a great idea that'll tie in the book with the ad campaign. I talked to Jim about setting up the time, and the boys at the office...
Bye. Let's go home, Professor.
Insight is a production of the Paulist Fathers, a group of Catholic priests who serve their God by serving those outside their church.